Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for Thursday, October the 28th. So on the DAX here, it looks quite sort of simple really in terms of looking to the upside here in terms of wave 1, 2, nice strong third wave, fourth wave and fifth wave here. A little bit sort of unfinished, and that's where I want to talk about that. But yeah, in a nutshell, we can look at it like this and then going up for wave 3 there. And it's not that simple, but it could be. Or maybe I'm overcomplicating it, and it could be just that simple of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Okay, but when we go and have a look at it, it'll be a little bit different than this. And I also want to compare this little top here to the FTSE as well today. So anyway, into this, I don't really have any clear answers today, by the way. So yesterday we were talking about having this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and then having, well, not quite like that, sorry, 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 and having wave 5 here, but instead of having wave 5 we have wave 1 and we pull back for wave 2 like we just talked about then. But in that case we could look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I've got this this structure here which I suppose we could put that there, but I just didn't count right. We had this 1 and 2 in here, then I had 1 and 2 in here, then 3 and 4 and 5. So I looked at this being 4 and 5 here. So anyway, a little puzzle. I'm going to go back over and check that over the weekend. But my main focus was getting this top here right. So this is the 78.6 retracement level area there, and the market has sort of stopped and stalled there. Well, it stalled there partly because of the S&P 500 reacting yesterday from that space there as well. So just sort of tied in together. But what I'm having trouble doing is I'm having trouble counting 5 waves from here to here. Now I can fit it in. I could fit it in as wave 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 here, but I'm kind of forcing it. Then I'm also having this long, you know, 5th wave here. So it's kind of scratching my head around this really. I knew that Wednesday and Thursday would be, you know, corrective, and when I haven't finished Thursday yet, it may come down further. We'll look to trade long on the Friday. So yeah, we just got to get through this. And when I have a look at this on the hourly chart, I've counted it a little bit differently again here. Well, sort of as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here. And then I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave. And yeah, I'm having trouble counting this here at the moment because, you know, I could put wave 3 here and wave 4 here somewhere, and then look at wave 5 moving up there, but it just sort of squashes it all up a little bit and doesn't really give wave 3 the length. Doesn't have to though. So it's possible to have a top in here, but I just can't sort of get my head around it. It's more likely to be something like this here. So we use this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then we could look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. Or we could even put wave 3 there. So I'm having a bit of difficulty with this here at the moment. And so, yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do. I can see that it's corrective here. If I go have a look at the FTSE for a moment, that kind of has got the same, see that sort of consolidation for the FTSE there? It's got the same thing as well. So, I mean, we could, you know, I mean, in a very minimalist, basic way, we could put wave 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and then put wave 5 there, and that's the top. And then we could put, you know, look at this as, well, we can't put wave 1 there in this case because we've got this wave 1 and 2 here. Yeah, but even so, this wave 3 here is a little bit short compared to wave 1 here. So I could squash it up and do that, but I just don't feel right about that situation. So yeah, I'm just expanding this to the upside here even further. So that's how I think it should be, something like this. But Yeah, but also too, I mean, my main problem is looking at this here once again, looking at this here being 5 waves. It doesn't look like it's finished. It looks like it needs to come up there, and that's what I'm sort of thinking. But I know the S&P and NASI is sort of rolling over a little bit, so yeah, but I still think there's a bit more to the upside there. Let's just go to the hourly chart here. It's not that easy to count in here as well. I've got wave 3 here with an ABC for 4, then 1 and 2 in this case, then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 3. So I'm thinking that we have to push up from here because it just doesn't look like 5 waves to this point. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm sort of thinking, but would be going in the opposite direction of the other markets, which I'm kind of okay with, you know. But yeah, and the other point too is that this is not impulsive to the downside. This is definitely, you know, it's got overlapping wave structures, so it's definitely bullish corrective. I just don't know if it's going to do something like this first, you know, something out of left field and overlap all of these 1s and 2s that I've got sitting in here, you know. We're already sort of like, you know, on thin ice here. So yeah, I'm not a great help here today on this, unfortunately. I can see that the market needs to go up, but we also need the S&P 500 and the NASI or whatever to push us up, you know, to drag us up as well. And this structure from here just doesn't seem finished, and I just can't give you a clear sort of definition on it at this stage. I'm sorry about that. What I could say though is that we're in group 2 here for the FTSE, so that number there, as I mentioned before, when it's a 72 it's kind of okay, but it's funny, you know, when you get a 272 or 772 together, it kind of like takes a lot, it ends up being a much stronger number. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in. I always sort of mention it when I see that 272, and this is the kind of thing that it sort of happens, but obviously there's a lot of other things at play. It's not all about that. And, you know, we don't know the full picture, of course, unfortunately. Yeah, so I'm just a bit unsure about this here. I just don't know if we've got another drop. I mean, I just don't know. But that support on 272, you can go long up into the 3.3 and probably a little bit higher at that point. I just don't think this is finished. I think we've got, I think that if I took these out here, I don't know if we're going to drop, but let's just assume we don't drop. Then there would still be 3, 4 and then 5 here to finish this off. You know, it would be something like that. There's still more to go here for this. Bit like this, I mean, this can also be a wave 3 up there, but it doesn't really matter. What we're looking for here on 7,300, and the 300 is a minor level, so is the 200, 100, 200 and 300 minor levels, and they put together as group 1. So if we get a nice support on this level here, then that's going to set the target at 500, 7,500. So that's what we're looking for. But coming back, you can see what's going on here, and then if we go back to the DAX, we're here as well. This trend up here just doesn't seem finished, and yeah, so I'm just going to leave it like this, unfortunately. I just don't know. I just don't know about this, but we should be seeing, you know, we should be seeing a bit more upside here, which I'm thinking will come on the Friday, but Thursday could crucify us and just drop down here and do something weird, you know. So just, yeah, I don't know. If you've got any better ideas, so then great. But otherwise, we just need to. We can move this all the way up. Put it to there. That shouldn't be breached at that point. But apart from this, the trend is looking quite good, you know, and this is definitely a bullish correction. So we should be seeing further upside. I just wouldn't expect it to drop much further, being what it is, but it could bite down and do something, you know what I mean? So just be a little bit careful about that, but we'll leave the stop out of the way for that. And let's just have a look at the stock 50, which should be the same as well, not really having any answers to this as well. So one of the things we talked about here yesterday as well is that from wave 4 here, I think we need to count all this up here for wave 1 and then back for wave 2. That's what I think. And then we go into wave 3. Now, but at the same time, I've got this counted a little bit differently in here. So over the weekend, I'll go back and count all of this. Just to see if just to see if this all can go into one move here, so to speak, So if I just remove this here for a moment and then just looked at this here as 1, 2, 3 here, and I'd like to put it there, but I can't. The DAX made a lower low over here, and on the stock 50, that was a really nice 5-wave structure there. So we need the other side to it as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. But yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 coming up here. I think there's probably another little move here for that. And then that would make wave 1 at that point. So that's also what I'm thinking. And then we'll have wave 2 coming back once that finishes off up here somewhere, That's very simplistic. But it might be simple and it might be right, but we'll keep talking about that in due course. But at the moment, I'm just going back to my original thing until I can prove otherwise, Don't need those there. Yeah, so a bit like that. So on the 1 hour chart here, I've got this a little bit differently as well here, but 1 and 2 here, and in this case I've got 1, 2, 3 here. This is how I think it should be, but just looks a little bit weird, that's all. I can see that, I can see that putting a wave 3 there would be the right thing to do, but I just got to pull all this apart again and just check it all. Anyway, I'll get to the bottom of that. So in a way, we're getting a little bit of this triangle pattern that we had here is kind of a little bit like this, slightly differently. But from this low here, I counted 1 and 2 here, and then I'm forcing it a bit as 3, 4, and 5. So I could put this over. I could put this over here, but it doesn't really work when I look at it on the tick chart. It kind of works better over here, but all I can say about this is that we need to be long above that top there. Just want to have a look at the tick chart here for a moment. Probably doesn't count as an ABC pattern, but I'm going to put it there anyway, and we can, if we need to put it, label it in some other way, we will. But looks like wave 1 to here, 2 to here, 3 to here. This is all looks also impulsive up there, but we shouldn't finish off here in 3 waves. It should break this low here. But that gives it a bit more of a bearish spin at that point. Well, I can see this is the A, the B, and the C here, and then the A, the B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this as an A and a B, and a C wave here for the B wave. That's okay, but this should be wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to about here somewhere, and then dropping down from that point. Anyway, not to worry. Let's just. Our plan was basically to go long Friday morning, late Thursday afternoon in the US markets. So I just want to see what it all looks like at that point. We expect Thursday to be the bearish day. So let's just see if that's going to play out. Asia's holding up quite steady, which is important. So I think that these markets, this pattern that we're looking at here is in a way, when we think about it, we've got some sort of A wave to here, B wave, an A wave to here, then an A and a B and a C to here, and then so basically we're well over 2/3 of the way through this correction. So that means that we'll still be looking to go long on Friday, and we'll be pushing up. I just don't know how this is going to finish off here. I think it's going to, because Asia is being quite stable at the moment, then I think the euro, because there's a strong link between all indices, and this is the FTSE here, the UK market compared to the Australian market where I'm from. The FTSE is 10 times bigger, but they're very similar. So they've got the same law, same accountancy. The trade is open. All they move quite closely together. So. And it's stable. So this is stable. Let's just have a quick look at the DAX again. Sorry to jump around. I'm just trying to figure it out on the hop, Yeah, so looking at the stock 50, we could say that this is just about finished. Now we may get a sort of a bit of a jab to the downside, because we're not looking at, that's not 5 waves up there. That may be 5 waves in here, I don't know. If you're going to go long here, then we'd go long above the 72. This is all a group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80. So the market's sitting in here nicely. We don't want to see the 65 here, the 15,665, as the retested resistance here. Okay, it's okay for it to spike below it, but it's got to come back up and find support on it. So we may get that spike down and then back on, but the safe trade would be on the 72. So look for a little classic trading levels pattern on the 72, which would be looking for the first high above the level, and then some sort of ABC pattern, and then going from there. So a bit like this here. So the first high above the level, pull back, taking that trade there like we did. We could take that one, whatever, and then you've got the level here, then you've got the you can put the stop under it here. That's what you're looking at. So long on that 72 there. So we knew Wednesday and Thursday was going to be a bit of a nightmare, so as usual. So that's that. Let's look for a positive Friday. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.